Welcome everyone to CBCTV, the weekly, I believe it's weekly now, TV show for the Comic Book Cast channel. As always, you can follow the channel by googling us at Comic Book Cast and find us absolutely everywhere. You can follow me on Twitter at Mitch692, and once again, I'm joined by Sean.
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at SeanStudio01. That's Facebook if you want to.
And, little Tristan waited till I press record there.
Yeah, he's got some sound bites, right?
But yeah, we got a fair amount to talk about this week, so we can jump right into it. And the first one is an odd one. I don't understand why this was even thought of, but the Russo Brothers are going to be doing a Marvel vs. DC documentary series. And
should be interesting.
Why? No.
I mean, look, it's a long thing in between the two companies. So I'm just surprised that they could put DC and not just like Marvel versus the other company, you know,
yeah.
like that other failing company.
Like, I don't think the name helps. Like Marvel versus DC. I assume it's not going to be the final name anyway. I think that's just going to start.
Yeah. I think that's just the production name. I think it's gonna.
So here was the pitch. This is what we're just gonna say is. But it's I don't know. It could be really interesting, but no, this got announced and it got hit with a wave of like, why?
I mean, why not? I mean, I would like look. They got to fill the hours.
I mean, true.
They got to make shows. So I mean, this is a pretty relevant topic. You know, even now. I mean,
yeah.
But
it's not even on like I can't even remember what it's on. It's not like on Disney Plus or anything.
It's not on Disney Plus now. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be on like another streaming, or it could be on their website. I mean, who knows? I mean,
true.
Yeah, like I know that they couldn't put that on Disney Plus regardless because of the name.
Yeah.
Like they don't want to pay royalties to the other company. You know, they don't want a generic name either. So like. I'll watch it. I mean, I always like documentary series, anyways. So like, it's
some Quibi. Just to interrupt you there, some Quibi. Whatever Quibi is, I have no idea.
I mean, I don't even know. What is that? Is this social media?
It could be a streaming service. It could be a channel.
I can hear people Googling it right now, though. So.
It's an upcoming American short-form mobile video platform headquartered in Los Angeles, California.
Yeah, okay. It's another social media startup. So.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say catch it before that site goes under. So
yeah, someone will like record this. But it's just I get it. You could probably make something really interesting out of all this.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's weird, yes, but I mean, like I said, I'm into those watching those docuseries, like especially if it's on like comics and stuff like that. So like,
say if it's on the comics side, I'm all on board. On board. If it's on the movie side, it's just going to be like looking. It's
gonna be like a lopsided.
It's like I could just scroll through Twitter and get the exact same thing. Like,
yeah.
I don't need you to like commentate on these tweets.
It's true. I could definitely see it like kind of touching on base on both sides of that.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean. There was a comic series, DC versus Marvel, but like, you know, I could definitely see that being, you know, I mean, like you could even make it as the comics, you know, just a comic, like, because I think they've done something like similar to that before, you know, on like Discovery Channel, they had like these docuseries and stuff like that on.
I think they might have done
something like that. I mean, like it's interesting. I mean, if I can find Quibi, I'll definitely watch it. I'm sure it'll be on YouTube.
So that's the weirdest part. It's like, oh, some Quibi. Like, what?
Yeah.
what's a
Well, it begs the question is, how much stock does the Russo brothers own in that company, and how much did they pay them to do
True. And also, like, why they're like, I mean, I understand why you got the Russo brothers because you know they're the Russo brothers at the minute. But why you surely you would have want like a more unbiased person because. You've got these people for a Marvel vs. DC documentary series. Half the people that you know, so the two people they're going to watch this for the DC side, you're just going to be crying about bias even more. It's just like,
well, I mean, like you never. I mean, I'm sure that the Russo brothers enjoy comics in general.
I mean, I should say yeah, but it's just
But I mean, if it's about the movie series, I mean, you're right. It's definitely gonna be like kind of like an hour and a half of people saying, "Yeah, Marvel does kick DC's butt. Why? Like why is this happening?"
Why not get like a comic writer that's worked for both, or like a showrunner that's worked for both?
I'm just curious, like, is both companies allowing this? Because if they're using the names, if they use the names like Marvel and DC, they've had to have some type of like rights thing, So that, I mean, I think at this point, DC Comics is probably like, yes, anything that will keep us in the news cycle, let's put it out there, good, bad, or otherwise, just put our name out there so people think we're still existing, because. But I mean, I'm sure it could benefit on both sides, because it's free advertisement.
I say it just makes you wonder how much money Quibi has.
Yeah,
is this gonna make or break Quibi? This Russo Brothers documentary series.
This literally could be the first and last we've ever heard of this company. Before like Warner Brothers buys them out and it just becomes DC, and then with Marvel crossed out.
And the only advertisement you'll ever see is the Russo's Twitter account. Yeah. It's the only way you'll ever see anything for this, I bet you.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's a pretty big, fan base right there.
Yeah, so, it's true.
I mean, like it's a risky move on that startup company to probably pay them like 6 digits to do this. For like a 15-minute short, they're probably making like I'm sure they're making like 6 figures easy off of this. Unless they got stock.
And you got to pay for all the rights and everything.
Yeah. I mean, this could be secretly owned by like I don't know, like Zuckerberg or something. I don't know. you better have someone that's backing that.
Yeah. So that's the weird bit of news to start off, and it's just
it's really weird, man.
I just can't wrap my head around it. Like, why? Do we need this? Maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, this could probably be the only time we've ever heard this ever, and it might never get made. So,
I was gonna say, I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah. Like when I see like the Russos saying, "Be here at X at this time, this date," then I'll say, "All right." Hey, just give me the link.
To move on from that weird piece of news to something a lot better and a bit. Surprising how quickly things are moving on. We got news, I believe, when was it? Last
week, yeah.
Last week, yeah. For showrunners for the Moon Knight and She-Hulk series on Disney+.
Yeah.
Very interesting choices. One, well, you could argue that both have got a bit of an air of caution.
Yeah.
I think maybe, one's definitely more cautious for me than the other. But for Moon Knight, we have Jeremy Slater, who people would know from Fantastic, Death Note, and Umbrella Academy on Netflix. Now, it is important to note, it's important to note that he did work on Fantastic and Death Note. It has been said that absolutely nothing he'd done for those two properties made it into the final version. He just got the credit on it.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of obvious when you look at Umbrella Academy, because Umbrella Academy is fantastic compared to the other two things.
Yeah, you get 2 bags of poo and one nice, dinner like sitting there.
Just like, Marvel obviously sees something in the guy and what he's pitching or whatever to actually hire him. I doubt they would have been like, let's just, let's skimp out, and get the guy that did Fantastic. Let's take the Perlmutter route for our full show.
Yeah. Well, from the Moon Knight part, I mean, from what I've heard, that the pitch that he put out was pretty good, and he's reaching into the obscure bag for sure with that character. So like, and it sounded. I mean, I didn't hear the whole thing. So
you had Steingart Scarlet, didn't you?
Yeah. I heard, and that's a very deep cut and very like on the nose at the same time, because like Moon Knight really doesn't have too many like a rogues gallery, so like, and that's like, and her and she is like probably the most predominant in like that comic, but like I mean, I mean, from the people I've been talking to, like they say his pitch is like really unique to the character.
Yeah,
and that they think that he thinks he understands what the character is supposed to be about.
Yeah,
that's what I heard.
As long as he's not just like white Batman.
Yeah, he's not rich. I mean, mentally unstable, but he wears a white suit.
No, but no, I'm excited for Moon Knight. I've got full faith in this one. Now the She-Hulk showrunner is Jessica Gao. Is it Gao?
Yeah, Gao.
Gao. Gao. People probably know her. She wrote the Pickle Rick episode of Rick and Morty.
Yes,
I believe she wrote that one. Now it's a hot take on internet these days. Rick and Morty is a massive red flag for me. I cannot stand that style.
Really?
Yeah, like
you're probably 0.1%.
I mean, probably it's the only show I actively hate watch.
Really? I'm surprised to hear that. Like everybody that I've ever talked to.
I find it very much
sophomore humor.
It thinks it's smart when it's not.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of times it's just it's just the same joke just recycled, and I'm like, okay, I get it.
Yeah, I can understand that. I can see that too. I mean, from what I heard with her is like, again, she's come up with a unique but familiar approach to the character.
Yeah. I say from what I gather, them going this route kind of indicates they're going more the classic like fourth
John Byrne. Yeah, the John Byrne.
That sort of a She-Hulk.
Well,
obviously like going to mix in like the new stuff. But.
I was gonna say like they do kind of an amalgamation of they want to do a kind of amalgamation of the old John Byrne stuff. Who wrote that stuff? I forgot.
I can't remember.
I want to say Chris Claremont, but I'm totally wrong. I'm sure. I know John Byrne wrote it, but and they're also going for that new take because like if you read the new stuff, it's not too far off of what the old stuff was about.
Yeah.
It was just a little toned down. If I remember correctly. I mean, look, I definitely. I can understand why people probably have doubts about that, but I mean,
I'm not overly doubting it because it's just more of a case of like, oh, it's like you see the association which is done. It's just like, oh no, like I'm sure everyone else on the planet is like up in arms because he's like, yes, Rick and Morty's stuff.
Yeah,
I'm just like, oh,
really? How many episodes was she predominantly writing Rick and Morty?
I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think she might have wrote the entire season in 2017.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure.
I mean,
she's got 6 credits on the show.
She definitely doesn't. Like she's done Robot Chicken, Star Wars Detour.
Yeah.
Wow, she did that Detour stuff, which was like very. It wasn't even it was filmed, but they never made it to air apparently because it was.
Oh really?
Yeah, I mean, she looks like a fairly new writer.
Yeah.
In terms of like, but I mean, I heard about the Detours, but I never really saw it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm okay with it. I mean, like, I always look at this is like this until it goes in production. Even when it goes in productions, if anything's proved the fact that like Marvel will pull the plug on stuff. I mean, if you look at the Solo thing where they just said, "All right, this is not working. Let's do this from the ground up." And I mean, if she doesn't like. If it's not what they want, they're definitely going to be like, well, maybe we should go a different route.
I mean, like, it's, I will sit here and I'll be like, it's a bit of a red flag for me. I still have hope and faith that it's not going to turn out how I believe it could turn out.
Yeah. I mean, who's to say that, like, maybe this is, the outlier in her career, where she
just
exactly.
Pulls it out, like as you said, she looks like to be, she's been around for a while, but her list of credits isn't that long.
It's pretty low.
Got, what, 18 writer credits, so she's not like the biggest thing. This is all going to be my stuff, and this I only know her from one of them. So
yeah, I mean, it's kind of I kind of like on the flip side, I'm kind of happy that they got like a woman writer to write a woman.
Oh yeah, you absolutely needed that. Like.
And like looking at her, I mean, she's got. I mean, looking at her IMDb, it's kind of like I get what they're trying to do. Like I know where they're going for it. I don't know. I'm down. I wouldn't mind. Like, I'm sure I'm gonna hear about it eventually.
Oh, yeah. more than like. Well, I'd hope you actually would.
Yeah. I mean. Yeah. Well, they usually call me in when something's on fire. So.
Calling short now. Quick.
Yeah, I'm the guy, the fixer, I should say. Maybe not. No. I don't know. But I mean, I'm excited that the characters are being brought into.
Oh, same. Like, I think She-Hulk's probably in the lower end of the list for me. Cause it's just an inherent case of like, I'm not massive on the Hulks, so
yeah. I'm interested in. I think out of the two, I think I'm more interested in the Moon Knight because it's going to be
100%,
a lot more connection to, darker elements of that universe and like
Blade.
Yeah, I mean Blade, possibly other stuff. I mean, but like, I'm just interested to see where they take it. I mean, because they got to come up with more than just a stained glass scarlet. It's a mouthful.
Say that 5 times quick.
Barely say it once, man. But like, yeah, I mean, these are too early. I mean, it's as far along as it sounds like it is. It's still relatively early. So like,
it's still early, but
she's got to turn in a script to see, and if they approve it, then like they see something that they like. If they don't, they're definitely gonna say.
Yeah.
It
seems we've only just had them announced really. Like
yeah,
they seem to be moving along quite quickly.
From what I've heard, like casting is for Moon Knight's going to be starting in like 2020, I believe. So.
I mean, I assume like.
Oh, I mean, like early 2020, I should say. Early. So I think once casting starts picking up, I think you'll probably get more of like a read of what they're going for.
Yeah.
So
because I assume they're looking at like early 2021 or like late 2021 for these.
Yeah.
Which that's going to be a lot of stuff in 2021.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of stuff.
Well, I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of stuff on both platforms, like the movies and TV. So it's not going to be too overwhelming because, like, the movies are going to be the shows that definitely got to pick up because, I mean, like, they got to fill more gaps in that schedule.
I mean, I look forward to Marvel Plus, so I'm all good.
Yeah, the side app.
Yeah. I mean, it's the side app's Disney Plus at this point. Let's be real.
That's true. That's true.
We have how many Marvel shows announced, and there's like no Disney originals. There's like 3 Star Wars shows.
Yeah, I mean,
we have like 14 Marvel. 14.
Definitely gonna recoup that cost,
Yeah.
But expect more.
I mean.
Oh yeah.
You need people around the club. If you're doing weekly, you need people to stay on it. So
there is piles and piles of like, this is what characters we're gonna do now. This is what characters we want to move with. Just imagine. Remember, I told you that there was like a dry board. When I was working. There is now like one of those like. I mean, it's like wall to wall from like one wall to the next. It's just like. Chalkboards
and it all scrolls around so you can move it.
Yeah. It's worse than Hickman's
God
diagrams.
You know, but I want to see it before, but I think the brain would explode now. It's like,
yeah. I mean, like I told you, tell you guys before, expect everything to be announced as a Disney Plus show. You know,
I mean, it's what we got this covered to doing, and it seems to be working. It's like this thing's announced and that thing's announced. It's like they're wrong, but they're not necessarily far off how it's working. Right?
Yeah, I mean, there's like a million different things that that has been. I mean, like that Hawkeye project is like moving along like a steam truck, man. Like people are worried that Renner's not gonna do it. It's like you can keep worrying about that. It's not gonna happen.
I assume they're actually gonna move forward with Renner.
Oh yeah, they've been moving forward with it, but like quietly.
Yeah.
They're not like really. They're waiting for the stuff to blow over, and then like once it's done, you're gonna get like a tsunami of information coming in.
So it's nice. It's nice to see that they've learned from the whole gun incident. Right?
No, yeah.
Don't jump in feet first straight away.
Yeah, I mean, like you can't. You kind of have to not do that because like you never know what. Like you know with one side of the story and the other side of the story, and then like you got to make sure that all that checks out. If Renner did it, then it's over. It's going to be the Kate Bishop show, you know.
Just get Haley Steinfeld.
Well, I mean, they're still actively. I mean, from what I know, they're still actively pursuing her. You know, like this. I mean, until you hear officially that she said no, I'm not doing this. It's still kind of.
I mean, even then, you know, how many times have we heard actors say no, I'm not doing this, and it's
then 2 seconds later, 2 seconds later, they're like, oh, guess what we're doing?
Off the top of my head, Paul Rudd denied Ant-Man. Cumberbatch denied Doctor Strange.
Well, I mean, I think people are going to be very happy with the way those shows turn out. The Moon Knight one is the more interesting for me because like they're going to go obscure with that character.
I mean, you can't go anywhere but, can you?
Yeah, I mean, this guy, like, from what I heard, the guy pulled out the obscure bag and never put it away, man, because he was just like, what do we do this? What do we do that? You know, it's like, everybody, I think, is more thinking that they're going to do a lot of the new stuff, which that will, I mean, it mostly will, probably. But they are gonna pull some of that old stuff out too. And say,
as I say, I'm at the point where I always just expect a half and half. It's like here's the old stuff mixed in with the new.
It's almost like how you have to do it though, because it's like you want to please both parties, you know, like.
And you can't just spend your time working from the old stuff to the new because that's just that's way too long. So I mean. That's why they do that whole amalgamation thing. Is like they couldn't spend their time like introducing Captain America in the movies like they did in the comics. Yeah, like we couldn't have had Avengers 1 without Cap. And Avengers 2 easily like defrosted. And, like each movie's just an issue. It's like, do that.
You kind of have to like take the best aspects of both and kind of put them together and just try to figure it out from there.
Like, can you imagine waiting like 50 years for Infinity Gauntlet?
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Like, nah.
Yeah. You think fans are pissed off now? I mean, like, they would have been like, what about this? What about that?
Why didn't you start with Namor?
Yeah, okay, well. They didn't have the rights anymore until now, so.
But yeah, I'm still interested in both.
Yeah. I'm
definitely more Moon Knight than She-Hulk, but
I mean, I hope they pull it out with She-Hulk because I kind of like the older stuff. So, I mean, I haven't read as much of the newer stuff, so I can't really say about that. But like, I think the character could handle like a limited series or something like that, and like, and they're always gonna like. I mean, you always got Bruce Banner to come in. Like you're gonna have.
I'm fully expecting old Brucey boy to like dab his way in. It's like
with a taco in hand.
Oh, because that's the Hulk now, everyone.
Yeah.
Either like it or you don't. No, I'm more than.
I'm fully on board with it, man. Like I. Like
let Mark Ruffalo do what Mark Ruffalo want to do.
Yeah. I mean, like he's making money now. I mean, I mean, from what I heard, he's making pretty good money now from these. So I mean, like,
nice.
Obviously.
Hey, maybe it's not permanent. Maybe we go Maestro and something bad happens with Hulk.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. I mean,
who's
that
to
could
say?
always be built.
Yeah, who's to say the Gamma Chamber was 100% successful? And it's just not like it doesn't backfire on him because it's the Hulk. He can never be happy.
I'm interested on seeing if they use the blood transfusion thing, or
I assume they would.
Yeah, and like making them cousins and related to like, yeah, I got a long lost cousin that practices law over here.
At least if they do that, they can stop the whole like. No, I say stop. People won't just think like, oh, she's just literally Girl Hulk.
I always never had that. I'm sorry, I never had that perception.
Yeah, it's fairly common. No.
Well, like in the newer stuff, I can see why you can see that because she's more of like a mindless, beast. But then, like in the older stuff, she had a personality, and like, I like what they did with her. In that, like, she had the strength, but she never had the, speech impediment. Like the Hulk did.
But yeah, so we are gonna cap off that topic.
Yeah,
excited for both. Bit more cautious with one because that's purely just like a me thing. So
the pedigree is not, prove themselves with the.
It all rests now on the actor for She-Hulk for me. So.
Oh yeah, I think they're again. I think they're gonna nail that. I think
get the girl from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Haven't watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but that girl.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. She's fantastic. I mean, she's not too big. She's not too. But I mean, like the CG, I'm sure is gonna like accentuate that.
So that's my thing with She-Hulk. Like people going, "Oh, you need to get a big actress." Like, no, you don't. You just CGI
it. Like 6-7 years ago, yeah, I would say you needed like Gina Carano or something like that. But like now,
it's like no one said it for the Hulk. Like you're not gonna get like. Let's not go back to the old Lou Ferrigno days of Hulk. Like, you don't do that again. No.
Let's learn from our mistakes, man.
But next up, Netflix's The Witcher has got a second season order. So, unfortunately, it's only one away from being cancelled.
Yeah, third season. Amazon's going to take over.
Yeah, the showrunner did say he's got 7 seasons planned. Well, it'd be nice to know at least half of that. So
does the Netflix executives know that? Or do they?
I mean, I don't think they know a lot. They're probably like too busy trying to find ways to lose money.
Yeah. I still have not seen the trailer, so I am a bad TV podcast.
I mean, it's not even out yet. That's all right.
Well, I thought the new trailer for the season 1.
The trailer. I thought you meant the show. I was like, well, you got
no.
You're fine.
No, I still haven't seen the trailer yet. So.
I mean, it's fine. That's old news now. You haven't got to worry about it.
My biggest problem is like, I mean, I think we talked about it last time. Like, I just started playing The Witcher, I think last week, and noticed that like a lot of that stuff is like monsters, man.
Yes, that's my thing. There's a lot of it is monster hunting. No.
Yeah, are they gonna like?
No, no monsters. No monsters. So.
Yeah, that's weird to me, right? Or weird.
So I can understand not focusing on it a lot, but having like 1 or 2.
You have to have something over. Yeah. You have to have something.
Just put in a Griffin. Just put in a Griffin. It's fine.
So do you think season 2 does the same way, or do you think that
I hope if like season 2 gets a bit of a bump in budget and they'll be like, yeah, we're gonna have like at least a Griffin. Just put something in here. No, we've got Neckers in there, so I can't see why we can't have. If you're not gonna do monsters, you're gonna miss out on the crones. Because the crones are quite CGI intensive, and it's like we can't miss out on them. I know it's following more the books and not the game, but like, do the crones? They're cool.
So, how much are the budgets per episode?
I'm not 100% certain. I imagine it's fairly high from looking at everything, but I'm not. I can't say for certain.
Yeah, like it looks interesting. The game is definitely awesome. I liked it. I haven't read any of the books, but like. I seen the first trailer. I thought it was interesting. I'd say I'd watch it, but I don't have Netflix anymore. So
well, you're gonna have to watch it at some point.
I would say that I would have to borrow something from somebody. And
what you do is you make an email account and get a free trial.
I never thought about it.
That's what you do.
Alias Joe Blow.
Amount of times I did that. It's like, oh, cool, a free trial. Yeah, I'll just change the email.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably end up doing that, but I'll wait till like the day of, And then, and then just binge watch it and then cancel it the next day.
Yeah, that's fine. That's what people are going to do anyway.
Right. So there's a big community for this, obviously, right?
Oh yeah.
I know Armin's like ginormously huge into this too.
Yeah, so. He's suspending. He says he's busy with the Mandalorian and Fallen Order right now, but he's just waiting for The Witcher.
He's just salivating.
Everything's just waiting for The Witcher.
Oh man, I hope it's kind of good. I mean, I think Cavill needs something.
I say Cavill definitely needs a win.
Yeah,
I mean, he's got a season 2, so that's a win.
That's a win, I mean,
even if season 1 sucks, he still has a second season.
And then possibly a third season. Right over to Marvel.
I can see. Oh, I think it's just making Sentry or Hyperion, please.
Yeah, I mean, I love the game, so I'm definitely interested. I'm kind of bummed that there's no like monsters, because that's just kind of weird. It's kind of weird that you don't. It's like hunting humans. Their
entire point of a Witcher is to hunt monsters. So taking that, what is a Witcher now at this point? Are we just gonna say we hunt monsters and then we're gonna go off on this plot that involves no monsters? But
maybe he's like just hunting metaphorically monsters. It's really
sounds very Netflix, to be honest. Sounds very.
Let's be metaphoric,
We'll go underground and just have a dragon skeleton.
Yeah, or just really mean people.
just take a slide.
You're a monster. You've done some monster things. I'm a monster hunter, so I'm hunting you.
A black screen with red eyes.
Oh man, or just borrow some stuff from some assets from I don't know, like Grendel or like Beowulf or something like that. And just kind of insert it slightly in there.
I mean, why not?
I'm sure they own. I'm sure they own something that you can use the assets from there.
They must have done something on Netflix that they can just use their own assets for.
If they can use concept art from Bird Box, I mean, those monsters look pretty terrifying.
True. I mean, you could probably fit that right in with The Witcher, actually.
Or better yet, I'm sure if you talk to Stephen King, you can borrow the Langoliers and then use the really, really bad TV show and just copy and paste those monsters on there. I don't know.
Stephen King sells everyone his stuff, doesn't he? So why not?
It does. He'd sell his soul, I'm sure, if you had it. Yeah, I mean, it sounds fun, but I'm cautiously optimistic about it. If it's what's this series about? Is it just them talking back and forth for an hour and then I'm gonna go to an adventure and it just cuts off at the end of the episode,
I mean, hopefully not.
That would be terrible. I mean, that would just be writingly terrible.
I say, a lot of people have said it's based on the first book mixed in with other stuff, but people would love that first book, so we just have to see.
I mean, obviously, it looks really nice though. It's shot pretty nicely from the trailers that I've seen. So. Yeah. It's got that atmosphere.
From what I gather from the last trailer, it's more the origin of Siri.
Okay.
Or whatever her name is, I can't think of. Is it Siri? It is Siri, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not Siri from Apple,
Siri with a C. No. I think it's. I always want to say it's Siri.
Hunting Apple computers, It
is Siri. Ha, I knew it.
Yeah, I mean.
Obviously, she's a little girl, and people are mad about it. It's no, he meets her when she's small. No, we have to build up to this. So.
Yeah. People are impatient.
That's how the story went.
Looks fun. I'm definitely gonna, subscribe for that free trial to watch it. Not pay for it.
So I'm praying it's good because they need something to be good at the minute.
Oh yeah. They definitely need something, man. They keep canceling everything else, man.
They're hemorrhaging money and IP. So.
Yeah. And these these other streaming apps, man, are kicking into high gear by the time. I won't say Apple's kicking into high gear, but like everybody else.
Apple's just over there doing what Apple does. It's doing its own thing. Right.
These shows suck. I'm spending money. Who cares?
He's a blind Jason Momoa.
Here, I'll give Jennifer Aniston $2 million and do whatever you want.
Nice.
It looks fun. I mean,
So it's cool that it's got a second season. We'll get there when we get there.
Yeah, I mean, he looks good as a character. So they definitely got that right, and the aesthetic. The aesthetic of the show looks very similar to the game. So, I'll watch it. Hopefully they have that butt shot in it. So.
I mean, we had the bathtub, so I assume we're gonna get the old cabin booty. So
where there's a bathtub, there's a witcher's butt. So.
And where there's a girl, there's an ass. So. Right. To move on from that, for all two people that like this show, I haven't seen more than two people that like this show. Titans has got a third season on DC Universe, so yeah,
that still exists.
It's still going, yeah.
Oh man, like you could be taking money and investing in the good shows, but they keep investing it into the show without changing anything. That's very depressing.
What gets me is they claim that it's critically acclaimed.
Yeah, like 2 people watch it, so
and it's just like, sure.
2 people. If 2 people watch it and 2 people say it's great, then it is critically acclaimed. But everybody else hasn't watched it. So
I'm 90% certain they're going by Rotten Tomatoes, which has it. It's a fairly decent score in it, but it's from 45 people, and it's the first episode, so it's like, no. I see through your crap.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't necessarily go by what critics say. Because a lot of times the critics, and I'm not saying critics are getting paid to do this, but critics are kind of like, I don't know, man.
I mean, like, critics do get paid to do the critics.
Yeah, they get paid by the company. Like, DC doesn't pay them to like give them, as far as I know. But like, not if someone like, I don't necessarily, my tastes aren't always the same as what someone else's. So and the only problems I usually have with what critics say is like when they say that this series is like aesthetically good, and it's like, not really. Guy in a hockey mask is not a good aesthetic,
Like, the blue, like, no one, it's objectively a fact. The blue filter in this show is horrendous.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
It's everything I see. It's ugly as hell.
It's like it seems like this is the only filter they have on the camera. Is blue. So that's their their color now.
Yeah, it's just like there's no way, like no one can look at that. I bet people do, but I don't believe anyone can look at it and go, yeah, that was really nice. That's really nice to look at. Like, no.
I haven't watched the show since season 1. But of all the clips that I've seen on YouTube, none of it that I've seen has been any better than season 1.
No.
Hasn't been any better. And like, just because you add the characters that somebody wants, like Superboy, he's good, but that's a guy in a t-shirt basically and jeans.
Yep.
It never really struck a chord with me. I would rather watch the Young Titans than this or Young Justice.
Like, all you got to put this show into perspective. I believe they killed Aqualad off, right? Mm-hmm. But he wasn't in his suit, so he couldn't have deflected the bullet, and half the time they're not in their suits, so it's just kind of like, that feels really cheap.
It's like couldn't just CGI or just go to the set where Aquaman was filmed, take a couple of their costumes and say this is what Aquaman Aqualad is like. You guys own the assets, man.
Also, apparently season 3 is going to be Blackfire. Starfire's relative, so it's kind of like season 1 was Titan has an evil relative. Season 2 is Titan has an evil relative. Season 3, Titan has an evil relative. Like,
let me guess.
I know you like the CW stuff, Warner Brothers, but come on, that's horrendous. How much?
What gets to me is like they've got a pretty good pool of source material they could use.
Oh yeah,
like the Judas Contract, I mean, was pretty acclaimed, and like it's classic, you know, and like you kind of cannibalize a lot of that stuff, and it just to me it doesn't. You're asking me to pay $7 a month, and I can just go to the CW and watch the same thing.
Well, if you're a founder, if you signed up in the first week, it's now going to be $5. So.
Well, nah, whatever. Still not gonna pay.
It's just like, wow, you want me to pay, or they want you to carry on paying like $5.99 or whatever for no content, basically. It's weird.
Like, look, I don't know, man. I'm gonna take that $5.95 and apply it to HBO Max and
literally anything else.
And continue watching the Watchmen and Doom Patrol and like.
I mean, just think that's another variant of a Hickman comic.
Yeah, I this has been off my radar for so long. I forgot that this existed. So, except for the fact that like it pops up on YouTube every once in a while, like the clips and stuff, and I go, oh, that's still there. Okay, cool. They
also are adding in more characters, and I believe you're going to have
with
the
no
likes
costumes.
of, like. I mean, more than likely, like your the introduction will have them. So like Blue Beetle, I think Bumblebee is going to be in there. Not the Transformer, you know, the not Wasp character.
Is Optimus Prime in? I don't know, man. Like, it's like. I mean, I think they just want to put them in the costume for the first episode. Like,
say they've done it, get him out of costume, and then do whatever. Right?
Exactly. It's like they have a rental. You know, like they can't rent the costume very long because like they got to get back to the store before they charge them again. It's like, come on, man. Like I don't know, dude. You know, like I always go by the philosophy: you got to spend money to make money.
Yeah.
And this applies very well to that because like you ain't spending no money. And
yeah, apparently, I say apparently, it's very apparent. This is hyper cheap to make. So
I can imagine
it's probably never going to get cancelled. It's just going to like keep trundling on as their flagship show, which is
and that's the reason why some of these CW shows are still around because they're so cheap, man.
Yeah.
You know, like they only have to make the costume once with the Flash, and like just keep altering it. You know, like I don't know, man. Like I was on board with the show with Doom Patrol because of how weird it was and like the feel, the even just the way the production value is, it's like it's cheap, but it's meant to be cheap, right?
Yeah.
Like it kind of accentuates.
It's got a tongue in cheek in it, and it's like you know it's supposed to look crap. Like
it's like they accentuate the positives, you know, of that show to make it feel the negatives not feel like stand out too much, you know, like because there are negatives to that show, but like you don't really pay attention to it because the writing's there, the acting's good, and like the presentation is great, you know, and like I know that the costumes are probably just as cheap, if not, you know, cheaper than the Titans, but it doesn't it doesn't feel that way because of like
because they make up for it with everything else.
Yeah, you know, like the script. I mean, I think they're going back to that with the Titans. They're going back to that '90s darker thing where everything has got to be dark and gloomy, and you know, it's like I'm so like I'm not in the '90s, guys, man. Like you know, like we're in the 2000 almost 2020s. You know, like we're
as I say with in the third decade of the new millennium.
Yeah, that aesthetic is done. You know, like they stopped using it. Stop. You know, I don't know. I think if they kind of like leaned into the colorfulness of of the characters, I think it wouldn't be as bad. If that makes any sense, right?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems like they lean into that. It has to be serious. It has to be gloomy.
Yeah.
You know, it almost feels like a Zack Snyder aesthetic that they're going after.
Oh, it's exactly that. It's exactly that.
And like,
I crap on this show, and I justify it because the people that I know that watched it and enjoyed season 2 have now really gone off of it. As it's gone on, they've just been like, yeah, this show's just bad.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't think the other, like, and like, this is not a knock about anybody that likes the show. If they like it, then they like it.
Oh, yeah, more power to you.
I'm not going to, like, say you're stupid because you like it. I'm just saying I don't enjoy this show. the season that I watched, and from what I've seen of other seasons, it hasn't made me feel like they've changed anything about that show.
They haven't. No. The amount of people I've been like, yeah, they do the same stuff as like season 1. It's like, oh, cool. Glad they've learned their lesson, but.
And it's like, and they haven't changed like the negative stuff about season 1. It just kept going and going and going and going. It's like the weakest parts are still there, you know. The chinks in the armor, you know. It's like, you know, like I don't know. I think you're gonna eventually lose people. Like people are gonna turn against them. Like, you know, like fans are gonna like.
I can't imagine it'll be much longer, to be honest.
Yeah. And the only reason the thing is on is because it's on the streaming service. If it was on the TV, you know, proper, it would be canceled a long time ago.
Oh yeah.
Because the ratings weren't there.
All right. We're gonna end on that one.
We'll leave it. I don't want to beat a dead horse, man. So
we're gonna leave
I don't like it, so
it's got a 3rd season. There you go. If you like it, cool. You're happy.
If you like it, watch it. If you don't, join me on Discord. We'll talk shit.
Yeah. All right. To move on, Ironheart. We've heard rumors forever. You know, scripts on Blacklist.
Yeah.
Blacklist, yeah. And now, apparently, according to certain people, I believe it's coming from MCU Cosmic, that it's a series is in a development and
yeah.
Disney Plus.
Yeah. I would say it's a safe bet.
I'd imagine it's a safe bet. No.
Like if you like, this is the thing about people who start rumors about this. It's like, or anything really. It's like you're saying the obvious here.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, no duh, you know, yeah. Any Marvel show is pretty much like I don't know, in development, you know, like everything's in active development, you know.
Yeah. So they're gonna want a lot of these shows, just, you know, where everything's weekly. No, it all comes down to this. You know, you want people to stay on your service for as long as possible. So you're gonna have as many shows in development as possible.
Yeah.
So you can have one episode a week for eternity, and people will stay, as long as people like it, they'll stay on the service. And,
I mean, like, you gotta realize that, like with this and Star Wars, it's like they're gonna be putting out these shows, and they're gonna develop these characters. Like, yes, there's a developing for Darth Maul. There's a development for Ahsoka, you know, because these are popular characters, and you just gotta like assume, you know, that these things are in development.
Yeah.
Riri is definitely gonna. I shouldn't say definitely, but they are actively developing this show.
Yeah.
You know,
and it makes sense. You know, we got a ton of young Avengers coming in. You know, if you're doing Miss Marvel, you're eventually like, why would you not want to do the Champions?
Yeah.
Like her or hate her, Riri's she the biggest
pretty essential part.
But she is one part of that the Champions team. So she has a fan base, and you know, your biggest character in this franchise was an Iron Man.
Yeah.
Why would you not do a legacy Iron Man? And no, it's not going to be Morgan Stark. Let's stop that right now.
I'll put a stop to it. It's not Morgan Stark.
I think anyone with a brainstem would know it's not going to be Morgan Stark. That actress is too young. That character's too young. You know, why would it be Morgan Stark? There's literally no reason to believe that. But
and you also got to look at it another way. Is like, Riri is not just a popular character, but she's also she's a character just like how Black Panther was a bridge to African Americans. This is just another way to tap into that pool again. You know.
Yeah.
It's a very popular character, and she is a woman and African American. That's like a double dip on that one, man. You know,
yep. And you know, it's not to. I'm trying to think of the word. It's not to downplay the character, to say, you know, the race and the gender of it. It's, you know, they're obviously going to be looking at that. It's like, hey, you know, the last 2 solo movies we done made X amount of money combined.
It's a plus, though.
There's obvious facts. They always go on about business. Will always go on about a demographic.
Exactly.
It's just another demographic. No.
It's another way to, and I don't want to say it as that, but it is like another way to tap into those, that demographic, like.
They've seen that those demographics will pay money. They're gonna now milk you dry.
I mean, it's just like any other company. I mean,
exactly.
The minute you figure out that something is paying for that product, you're going to continue making that product until well into the earth dying. Like we're going to be getting, like.
No, and it's not like they haven't been doing that for white men for
decades, centuries,
years,
centuries, man. Like white men have been pretty predominant in like pop culture, movies and TV, but like it still continues. It still continues, but not as I think in the next couple of years you're going to see a lot more, Sherry might have a bigger role in. Like,
I mean, I'm fine with that. Like,
at
the end of the day, as long as the content is good, and it's worthy of being paid for, but even if I don't like it, someone else, I'm not going to judge someone, be like, you shouldn't pay for this.
I'm just going to tell you my opinion about it.
As long as it's good, who cares?
Yeah, I mean, I'm like that with anything. I mean, that includes like DC stuff. I know I poo-poo on the DC stuff a lot, but then DC stuff hasn't really been that great, so I can't get behind it. But like, if they come out and say, I don't know, like that they're gonna make a TV show, like I don't know, like I think it's just a given that like Riri is getting her own show. Or at least in consideration, it's.
I mean, I'd be shocked if it doesn't happen.
It's gonna happen.
Exactly. Like, there's no way it doesn't happen.
It's gonna happen.
I just can't believe it won't.
It's gonna happen in some type of demographic. I mean, in some type of medium, So
I assume a series will lend itself better to it.
Yeah. Live action.
Develop them more. Oh yeah, like live action, obviously. Yeah.
But I mean, for a while they were talking about making it animated, but it's like animated.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean they were talking about it, but like at the end of the day, animation only. I don't think it would reach a broader audience as much as a live action. I think a live action if they get the perfect live action representation of that character, I think that would be a solid gold type show.
Yeah. No, I'm here for it. It's
I'm here. I'm down.
It's another legacy. Why would you not do it? I know people don't like Riri, but people don't like anyone.
Why? So. Why is that? I don't understand.
It's a thing. It's a whole thing.
Let me. Does it have to do with like gender?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
People won't admit it. But yeah.
Really. Oh, that's so. I feel like sometimes I feel like I just want to quit the.
Very, very much unfortunately came about in that time when Marvel obviously had an agenda despite it being the same agenda they've had for the last 8 years.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think people. Like the thing with people fans now is like they say they don't like it, but once you give them a good version of it, they're like, oh.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like you it's the same. Not every character's going to start off strong. Did she start off strong? No, she did not. Is her solo run now decent? For what? Decent for bad? No.
Yeah.
She was champion under sub, personally.
So you think she's a better supporting character than like?
Yeah.
I mean that's
with the potential to be elite. I just don't think we've seen
the perfect story.
Have the run where she's leading Tyrion.
Yeah, I mean, I might have been not in touch with the pulse of America, but I always thought that she was popular.
Oh, no.
I might be. Oh God, I feel old.
I mean, she probably was. I say she was like on the internet, she's not.
Yeah. Oh man. I think
this goes live. Look at the comments of this one. I mean, I don't recommend that at all because
yeah,
you put Ironheart on it, you're gonna get.
Yeah, I mean, I think even with those people, that vocal minority of people saying that stuff, I think if you gave them a good version of that story, I think it'd be fine.
I say, also we're at the point now where how many times people are saying that this is going to cause a downfall of everything? Yes, make tons of money. So obviously that's like wrong.
Yeah, I mean, like the fatigue of comic book movies has been announced. How many times?
The bubble burst in Avengers. So,
I mean, I think sometimes I feel that fans kind of regurgitate what I don't know, the journalists say. Just like I don't know. I think I don't know. I think people will be fine with it if they got it.
I mean, it'll come out and it'll be huge. There's no denying that. Like, if people won't deny it, fair enough. Like, you haven't got to like it. That's more power to it.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, I ain't forcing you to like anything. I'm just saying, like, if someone gave me a perfect version of a Batman story, I'd like it. Like
it looks like Matt Reeves is.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, that's a good example. I mean, like, if Matt Reeves comes out the bags with that movie as strong as that cast is, I think I might actually like that Batman story. I'm not opposed to not liking it. I just don't like the character. The way it's been representative in comics, and like I was never a fan of the Dark Knight trilogy, man. I mean, I got why people liked it, but then I never liked it. I never liked that version of that like grumbly version.
The old man Batman.
Grumpy old man Batman.
All right. So yeah, Ironheart series in development, whether you like it or not. So
stay tuned.
Yeah. Now to move on to what we've watched or what's been on this week, really. It's obviously Watchmen and the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Now, have you caught up with Watchmen?
I have seen episode 3. So
Episode 3.
I thought it was better than the first two. If it makes sense, like.
All right, yeah, no, I'm with you.
It was more focused and like it answered something. I will be honest with you though. I'm still having those like, is this gonna finish strong thoughts? Like, because it was like, I felt like episode 1 and 2. Episode 1 was strong out the gate, but then episode 2 came and I'm like, I don't know. Like it didn't engage me as much as I thought it would be. And then
episode 2, from the reactions I've seen, was very
underwhelming.
Not underwhelming. It was very split. Yeah. Very evenly split between people not liking, people liking it. So.
I mean, I didn't hate it. I just didn't feel it was strong.
Yeah. No,
like I get
it.
But how far did you get in so far?
Oh, I'm caught up. All caught up.
Okay. So I mean, like episode 3. I think for me the best parts are. And I'm just saying this because this is my opinion. I felt like the more compelling parts were like Ozzy's story.
I could watch an entire hour of Ozymandias' story.
Yeah,
it's got that Doom Patrol vibe.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't really know what's going on, and it's all different and wacky. And it's just suffers something that the rest of the show does.
Yeah, I mean, and the Laurie parts are keeping me engaged too. The only weak parts for me are, and I'm saying this as my opinion, I felt like the Sister Night stuff is kind of, it's just kind of like, I don't want to say weak. It's just
no, because it's the Sister Night parts is really well done. But it's the most detached from the other two plot points.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's kind of, I don't know. It's weird. It doesn't. It's not like it doesn't, like if it fits in with the show. It's just not. I need to see where it's going more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what. Like it to me, it's been kind of like Miranda, just kind of just. I can't pronounce the word Mirandaing along, but I don't. It's
meandering.
Miranding. Yeah, it's been kind of. It's been doing that for me.
Yeah.
not to say that if it finished strong, I'll be all in for it, But like right now, just kind of like it kind of lost me. I was just looking forward to all the parts with Ozzy in it. The stuff with Lori, like talking, that thing reminds me of like a confessional, like with that booth, that phone booth.
Yeah.
And like
that's what it feels like, doesn't it? 'Cause it's the whole. It's a mixture of like a confessional and like a suicide booth, Futurama.
Yeah.
It's kind of like.
Yeah, and like. My biggest fear is like the end of this series, and it's creeping along, right? Like the end of the series should be coming up soonish.
Well,
in like 2 or 3 episodes.
They have said that this first season is very contained to itself. So like, or more standalone, I should say. So you're gonna get a complete story with this first season, apparently. That's what they've said.
I hope so.
And then like season 2 is gonna be a more like traditional or whatever. Like you'll get a cliffhanger at the end and.
Do you think that they have like a post credit at the end of this that just does?
I imagine they would. There's got to be a hook for it.
Yeah, because like you can tell a complete story and then just give you a hook at the end to keep you coming back for season 2. Like, because like my biggest fear is like they're gonna lean too much into this Dr. Manhattan coming thing. I like the fact
100%.
that he's not there.
They're gonna do something with him.
I like the fact that he's not there. If anything,
he's not there, but he's very much a character in the show.
He's like almost like a god. He's like looking at everybody and like, when you pray to God, he doesn't answer back. I like the fact that it's kind of progressing from the graphic novel. Like they're talking about like
the whole squid thing and
the squid thing. I don't have a squid fetish. I'm not like hentai. Like
don't be embarrassed about it. You'll know you
are. You're right.
Everyone secretly likes a tentacle too.
I'm a huge hentai fan, but like I like the fact that they're leaning into that though.
Yeah, it was a huge part of the story. Like you kind of contrary to what the movie believes, you can't shy away from that.
Yeah, I like the whole like mini fish, the mini squid thing,
the little cuttlefish rain. Like,
I want to see what that. I'm just like I'm huge on the Ozzy story. Like now, I always start watching and I'm like, I can't wait to see what's happening next.
I suppose it's very much like the Ozzy stuff is more the sequel than anything else. It's like, what happened with him? Like, you never got a resolution with him in the book, so it's kind of like, what happens with Ozzy afterwards? Like,
and like I'm sure everybody has an idea of what is going on, but like I like the fact that it's not really answering the fact that he's not on Earth. He's not on Earth. He's definitely not on Earth.
No, there's no way. No. Especially after episode 4, you look at there's no way. Like he's got to be like on Mars or something.
He's somewhere. He's not on Earth somewhere. And I like the whole clone thing. It just everything.
They go into the clones in the 4th episode, and it's weird as anything.
See, I'm okay with that. I think that leads into the comic, and that's what I think appealed to me with Doom Patrol because it's just so out there. It's like it's not traditional. It's not like, and I think you kind of have to go weird.
Yeah. Also, it being Jeremy Irons is fantastic.
Yeah, I get it.
It's just like he's such a good old Aussie man. He is. It's like,
it was a perfect casting for that.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And the minute everybody saw that he was cast in that show, they're like Ozzy. Like he's definitely Ozzy. He's not like he looks it. Even not watching, even outside the show, he looks like the character.
Yeah. Even though it makes me laugh because I feel like they want each other Sean Connery. But Sean Connery ain't gonna do it, so they just got Jeremy Irons to do Sean Connery. And it's so you can hear it. There's a tiny little Connery twang in how he talks. It's like,
Well, I don't think. I'll be honest with you. I don't think Sean Connery could pull this off.
Oh no, I don't think he could either. But
I'm glad that they.
Sean Connery takes over the roles, and he's just Sean Connery. Yeah. But it's like, I can see. No, it's just a little twang.
I think Irons is like the perfect casting for this, man. I think out of every casting in this show, he was like dynamite solid. I was like, even before I officially knew who he was, I was just like, all right, I like him.
I mean, it was obvious. Like,
yeah, I mean,
it's kind of like he has to be Ozymandias. There's no way.
I mean, like I said, he looks even outside of the in real life, he looks like what the character would look like.
Yeah.
He was,
and even in like that suit, like it's like
Oh yeah, man, they gave us the suit, dude. I was like, they just went there, man. I think that's what shows have to do. Like this,
you just got to embrace it.
They just got to go with it, man. Like you can't. I think that that was the biggest complaint with the Netflix stuff, and like there was like logistical problems with that for that. Yeah. But I mean, like if you lean into the character and just say, yeah, he wears this like really bright purple, gold and purple outfit, man, and like because the movie just definitely got it like all wrong for me. It turned 100%. They turned it into a traditional superhero costume for me. Yeah. And I'm like, you can't do that, like especially with that costume.
Like, there's a reason why these things are liked and revered as much as they are. There's a reason why this story in particular is as iconic as it is.
Yeah.
And like it all comes down to every aspect of it, not just the writing, it's everything.
Yeah, and like you miss one like little detail and it just kind of falls apart.
Yeah.
And like that was the problem with the movie. It's like, the squid thing
my thing with the squid thing is like, how can you embrace a giant blue glowing guy that's butt naked half the time that wipes out Vietnam near enough, but then shy away from a squid?
It's like just go all in.
It doesn't add up.
I think it came down to he did not want to do that, and like to me that like I'm not like all in. I'm not like a continuity like purist where you have to have everything perfect, but like what I am is like, at least pay homage to that, because without that source material, you would be making this movie.
I'm kind of in the same boat with you on continuities, but like, if you're doing a standalone story like Watchmen, and it's a one and done, you haven't really got to worry about continuity because you've only got the one story.
Yeah. I mean,
just do it.
Yeah. I mean, I the other stuff that I like is like, like the police have to wear masks, because to protect themselves, like, and that makes sense, because
go back 6 months and listen to us talk about that one.
Exactly.
What the hell is that?
Yeah, in the 7th Cavalry, that's the natural progression of like what that notebook would have done to people, real people. It wouldn't have brought people together. The people would have been like, yeah, you're right. We're gonna start like the crazy people that are already crazy would have embraced it even more, and like it turned into this, like
100%.
That's a real version of that, like that movie. It to me felt more like a traditional superhero telling of that story.
Yeah, which completely misses the entire point of Watchmen.
Exactly. Like, You're telling a traditional superhero story with a story that is deconstructing the superhero. It's like, I
it's
think
just ironic coming from the guy that wanted to deconstruct Superman.
Yeah,
you missed the point of deconstruction, but it's contrarian to be a contrarian at that point. Right?
Yeah, I mean, we could go on and on about like that particular take on it, and I'm glad that they did not do a sequel to that, as opposed to the actual comic.
Oh yeah, it would have been awful. I would not. Like loving this show.
I would have been 100% off this show if that was the case. I wouldn't have. I would have been like, I didn't like the movie, so why would I like this anyways? Like this is just not gonna like be for me. But that minute he wore that costume, I was like, oh yes.
Yeah,
they're doing it, man.
I'm in. I'm 100% in.
Yeah, I was just like, they're not shying away, and like, but I'm still kind of skeptical because of like the people behind the show.
Yeah,
aren't known to be like they don't stick that landing when like everything is compelling up to this point, but like that could turn in a minute, man. And like I'm just waiting for that episode where
did you just say in a minute, man?
Yeah, I didn't know.
I was like, is that intentional or was that like completely?
But I like how they mention the characters, but they don't really go too into it. Like they don't over explain. Like
no, so we've only really got 2.5 of the Watchmen. So the Minutemen, I should say, really.
Well, yeah, I mean, like they mention the comedian, but they really don't go into like who this. This show's not about the comedian. It's just about the aftermath of that. I like the fact that I think Laurie's character would actually do something like that. It's like,
oh yeah, it feels like a real natural process.
Yeah, and gotta say, man, best use of a blue.
The massive dildo, just like
I gotta say, best homage to anything, man. You did not have to show. You don't have to show Dr. Manhattan in his true glory. You just had to do that, and I'm like,
I mean, I think they kind of.
Yeah, that's true, man. Like, huge. That thing was huge and shiny. I was like, but like
that was definitely a thing that happened. I was just like, okay.
And then like the mention of the owl, like the night owl.
Night owl, yeah. I also want to say Owlman, but I know it's not Owl.
I was gonna say that too. But like how she's like she's kind of in love with both. Both characters. Like she's kind of conflicted. Not. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was great. I loved the third episode. It kind of redeemed like what I didn't like about the second episode.
Well, you'll like episode 4. I can tell you that right now.
Good.
Very much character the same.
I like the dynamic between Laurie and Sister Night a little bit.
Yeah, that's an interesting dynamic there.
Because the funeral was kind of like an interesting thing, like it kind of felt like sort of like what happened with the comedian. The comedian was a horrible person, but then Laurie's mother ended up having a consensual relationship with this person, and it's the same with the captain. He turns out to be a pretty bad person, connected to bad people, but yet she's forced to say all these like nice things about him, knowing what she knows.
It's a very interesting parallel.
Yeah. And I'm interested to see where this goes. I'm in it to the end. But like if it doesn't really do it for me, I'm probably not gonna come back to season 2.
I mean that's more than fair. It's more than fair. Can't expect you to watch it when it's bad.
How many more episodes do they have?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I assume it's 10 episodes, so we're nearly halfway through. No. That's me assuming. I assume we'll find out at some point when it's finished.
But yeah, I liked it so far.
So, on to the Mandalorian. Now, unfortunately, I have not seen the second episode because I'm not privileged enough to see the second episode.
Yeah, to be fair, I haven't seen it in a long time, so like it's still not.
Oh, that's fine.
We will
in a long time. Like listen to it,
I haven't seen it, so I can't remember a lot about it. So, I did rewatch season 1, episode 1, or chapter 1, I should say.
So the Mandalorian chapter 1, it's dropped. It's here.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
What's your thoughts?
I found it to be really fast paced.
Yeah.
It's not a negative against it because I did overall I really enjoyed the 38 minutes of a show that we got, which that's my biggest thing is the length of the damn thing.
Want more?
I do want more. It's gonna be just 20 minutes. It felt right. It's a weird thing to say. It felt like a supercut of a season, like an entire season. It was just that, it's like we start off in this place, then we're here, then we're there, then we're back here again, then we're there. Now he's going to do a thing, and it felt. I don't know. I think it's just because it was different. Like it just felt really weird. It wasn't a traditional open episode. You don't. It's very much. Actually, that's what it feels like. The opening of say like Infinity War or Endgame.
Kind of felt like a cold opening, right?
Yeah, it's very much like here's a cold opening, and we've got to do. Here's this, and then you start the story.
Yeah,
I think that's probably a better way to describe how.
I think the first episode was it was an introduction to the characters.
Yeah.
Dave Filoni directed it. First time he directed a live action, so I can tell you that after this episode, it's going to be more of a story.
Yeah.
To it. I mean, there's more of an overlapping story involved for the rest of the series. So it won't feel as like rushed is good.
I don't even think I can say the word rushed. I don't think that's the right word. It was just different. I just got this weird feeling from it.
Yeah.
It's not just inherently a bad thing. It wasn't necessarily a good thing either. It was just weird, and I was like, it's an interesting way to do it. It gave me a different feeling.
Now, can I ask you a question? Because I was reading a thing on IGN saying it was almost slapsticky. Did you get any of that?
Wait, what's the little things called? The blurgs? Is that what
they're called? Yeah.
I can understand maybe with that. I wouldn't have said that the entire thing was slapsticky.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the part that he said it was slapsticky.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No,
man.
I can kind of get it because it was like looking fall down. That is kind of slapstick.
I
wouldn't necessarily say it's negative.
It's
funny.
It was different, right?
Yeah, it was funny. I mean, sure, it was a little bit weird that it's kind of like, the tone was so different to the rest of the show, and now we're doing this bit. And then it just goes back to everything. It's like, but it wasn't bad. No, I can't complain about it. But.
I don't know, man. I think the first episode for me was just an establishment of the character.
Yeah, it's very much the introduction to everything.
Here's this guy.
It's a typical issue 1.
Yeah, exactly. The characters are put in play. I mean, the characters that you're going to see from now on. Like the Carl Weathers character is going to be pretty predominant, important to the story. The Nick Nolte thing, I only seen bits and pieces of that.
Say Nick Nolte is the little I've spoken dude, right?
Yeah, the little Ugnet.
Give me more.
Oh, you will. He's
that was so good. Just like,
it was such a great it was just like such a weird character, and like the stuff that he said was really
whether
weird.
It's intentional or not, that is the meme. Like it's 100% the meme people latch onto. Because I watched that. The first thing I did was post that GIF. Like I found that in straight away. It's like no, I'm done.
I haven't spoken. Yeah, I mean.
So well.
I have a feeling that was Nick Nolte ad-libbing probably.
It felt like it. It's just like
yeah, I mean the Herner's Warzog character was great. I loved it. He plays evil very well. He's the guy that he talked to get the job. The old
Which
guy.
one? The old guy. Yeah. The dude in the office with the Camino guy.
Yes.
They didn't hide that very well.
yeah, he basically just said it out loud. I mean, I love his character. Like he plays evil so well. He's a great director. You're gonna start seeing some more characters from you're gonna see more Death Troopers. If anybody's familiar with that. I don't know. I just like the fact that the Empire is so scattered that the credits don't work. Like you'd rather not have those credits.
There was a lot of world building in this, and I really appreciated it.
Yeah,
and it's just like the whole credits thing. Just like it's small, but it does one.
Yeah, it tells you everything you need to know about where the Empire is at this point.
Yeah, and the stormtroopers being they look like crap because they just hurt themselves.
Well, they're gonna be at this point, they're basically mercenaries at this point.
Yeah.
They're just scattered all over. You're gonna see a lot of those characters where they've been displaced after the Empire fell, so they gotta find work somewhere, and but
it was really well put together and really well done. The world building of it was probably the best part because there was a ton the whole I can't think what the metal was called. Begins to be.
Oh yeah.
Berkstar.
The metal for the
the Mandalorian still.
Yeah, they used it for the armor. I can't remember.
That's it. Beskar still. Yeah.
Thanks, Mick.
Thanks, Jack. So just as someone that knows nothing about Mandalorians, it's kind of that was a really good in.
Yeah. The culture, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna see a lot more of that throughout the season because I mean, Star Wars fans, the Mandalorians are pretty much like it's the Mandalorians, and
Mandalorians are huge. Like,
they're huge, but they're barely like anything is like really known about them. Like it hasn't really been explored, and also the Yoda character. That species has never been like ever been.
I was saying, isn't this only the second time we've seen them? Like, spoilers, you haven't seen the first episode. Everyone in the UK, I apologise, or Europe. Like, Baby Yoda, this channel called it. So shout out the show years ago. They clearly stolen our idea of Baby Yoda. Like, isn't this like the only second time we've seen?
Yeah, there's Yaddle, which was in like the prequels.
Oh, it's the third time apparently. So, yeah.
But the thing about the species, it's never been named. It's never been spoken. So like you're gonna get a lot more layers to the Star Wars continuity and like galaxy, because like this is huge. Like this is big, you know, and like this, like apparently from what I heard, this was Filoni's idea.
Yeah.
So I mean, like the cinematography is like fantastic. And like,
it looks stunning.
I love it, man. Like I was telling somebody, it's like I'm always been a Star Wars fan, but like after watching this show, it's like that fire's kind of been reignited, you know. It's like this is what like I wanted the prequels to be.
Yeah, it's that's something different. I've been desperate for. Like, I've been calling for something different on here for years, and I finally got it. That's probably why I'm a bit let down that it's only like half an hour. It's like, no, this needs to be an hour long.
I want more.
This needs to be a full. Like, if you're going to do half-hour episodes, make it longer than 6 hours or 6 episodes. Don't skimping out on me here. I don't appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, I think season 2 is going to remedy that problem for sure. Good. I think they're just like it's like a testing in the water. It's not like
not to sound like a knock against it. It very much feels like a test.
It's like
this first episode is very much like a proof of concept thing. Like,
we can do exactly. And like I mean, like the practical effects that we use in this is like amazing.
Oh, fantastic! It's nuts.
They built the whole like not 1-to-1 scale, but like the ship is basically mounted to a camera, and like that's why it gets like
his ship.
You know, one of his ships. There's a model that has like a pole and like a camera attached to it, and that's why you get like some of the shots kind of. I can't remember what shots it were.
I can't speak to like the CGI effect. Like I watched it on the phone. I hate doing that because everything's always small and stuff.
But like
it looked very CG.
In March, definitely rewatch the episode. There's like a couple scenes with the ship, and it's like it's like you can tell that it's a tangible item. That it's actually there. You know.
I say the inside of it, like the cockpit and like the whole back, like the back part of it, it looked good, but like it was just literally just the outside shot of it. Then.
But the only thing that I have that was like kind of like the jarring part was that first beginning of it with the blue alien. That was the only thing that was the only thing that was kind of jarring for me because the I felt kind of like comedy, like it felt like
he was a very
it felt out of place,
very cartoonish character.
Yeah,
and especially in that situation with the tone it's setting up, it was a bit weird. No, I'll agree with that.
It felt kind of out of like the whole humor out of it kind of felt out of place for me.
And then they had the comedy actor guy on the speedster, and it's like he's like, oh, you know, stay off the ice, and he drives on the ice and dies. But I mean, everything else, I loved it, man. It gets better. It gets better with each episode, and for Star Wars fans, you're gonna get a lot out of this show. I think you're gonna get. There's gonna be like gaps that fill in between episodes. Like it fills in a lot of gaps for that universe. With this show, like the Giancarlo Esposito character, it's I don't want to say pretty important, but he's like, trying to think of the word. It's interesting, like his backstory.
I don't want to say what he is, but like he is. You'll like, I'm sure that like seeing like some of the I think they did like clips of like his character and like his introduction. It's like he's like stormtroopers everywhere, you know, like kind of figure out that he was a part of the Empire at one point.
Yeah,
but it's gonna do wonders for the Star Wars brand, because like this is exactly what people wanted.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It might, like, there's like no show's perfect, but I think this is close to it in my opinion. Like, because the end of this season, it definitely gives you something good.
Yeah,
it definitely gives you something good, and it gives you something.
I can't wait to watch the end of the season in March or April.
Right. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I expected criticism from it, because there are moments, but like, I think that all will go away later in later episodes.
Yeah. Now tell me, is it IG-11?
Oh, he sticks around.
Yeah.
He doesn't self-destruct.
I mean, he did get shot in the head, but
I gotta tell you, that was the funniest part of the episode.
I mean, yeah, it was.
like he kept trying to kill himself, you know, and like. And then, like, you know, all of a sudden, like, you know, the Mandalorian is like, no, don't do that. And then he tries to kill the Yoda character.
Poor little baby Yoda.
Yeah. I mean, I think people are going to be, like, extremely happy by the end of this season.
Yeah. I'm just happy that Taika Waititi didn't do the Korg voice.
Yeah. Yeah, you can barely tell the tone.
I say it's really hard to, like, you can, he's got his twang in there.
Yeah.
I've said twang a lot this episode. But, like, It took me a while to kind of go like, no, that is definitely Taika Waititi.
Yeah.
Because I saw it and I was like, I'm certain that's him. And then it's like, really had to listen to it.
Yeah, like a couple months ago, I heard when I watched the first episode, that was like my biggest fear is like, he's gonna do that voice, isn't he? And then like I was listening to it and I was like, oh, he didn't do the voice.
Yeah, it's just like, thank God.
Yeah, it's like that could be tiresome if he just kept doing the same voice. But then you know, like, I kind of have to give credit where credit's due with him. Like, he's never really done anything twice, you know. So,
no, he really hasn't. Which is,
but yeah, like he, yeah, you know, some of these other characters, the peripheral characters, like everybody's kind of pooping on the Gina Carano character because she's not the greatest actor, but it's like
is she in episode 1?
No, she's not in episode 1, but she's in a couple. Like, he's a good fair amount of episodes. She's important. She's kind of an important character. She has a past with the Mandalorian. So and she does the job well.
Yeah.
Enough, you know. It's
so
not
she plays the role how she has to play the role. It's fine.
Yeah. She doesn't, like, you know. I don't think they gave her a role that she needed to do like some crazy, like improv.
You're not going to get a massive emotional beat from Gina Carano.
Exactly.
You write for Gina Carano.
She did the job, and I Carl Weathers' character is a pretty important character too throughout the season. I think I was really excited to see this on D+. Like when I saw it, it was all on these NES monitors.
Can't relate. I was excited. Well, I was.
But like, I think it benefits watching it on a nice big TV or a TV that can.
I tell you what, I cannot wait to watch it on an actual screen that's not a phone. Cause
you're gonna love it.
I hated myself for doing that. Like, I felt dirty. It's just like, oh.
I had the same feeling because like when I saw it, it wasn't on the highest resolution, so you kind of see the imperfections on but like once you see it on that like 10 like that high definition TV set, man, you're like, this is gorgeous, man. Like it looks everything, like when they said that all these shows are going to be like movie quality.
It definitely looks it. Like the way like the practical effects, cinematography, the lighting, like it all looks not like a TV show in the slightest. So.
And I think they continue to promise that it's not like they don't because like sometimes like they get like the first episode of anything feels cinematic, but then it just kind of degrades after a while, because the budgetary, But I think I think the benefit of being a part of this company, you get, you know, like when the head of the company says, "I promise you that it's going to be movie quality,"
Yeah,
it ends up being movie quality. But yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait till the end of December when that final episode of season 1 comes out and we just freely talk about everything.
I can't wait till March. So.
You're like, I just can't wait till March, man.
5 months.
That's so crazy. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. So am I, because I'm sure I'll find it online somehow. They ain't holding it back from me for long. No.
I feel like really mean talking about it.
I mean, I wouldn't worry. Everyone else doesn't give a shit, so you know. Right.
Well, I give a shit.
Just like
I care.
The internet doesn't care, but you know, one day I can get people back. One day, One day, Universe will be like, "Hey, sure, you know."
Here you go, something early.
Yeah. It'll be fantastic.
Before those stupid Americans.
I will literally milk that until the day I die. Be like, I've seen it. It's like I don't care.
Who cares? But yeah, I can't wait till just like the end, when the end of the season, then we can start freely talking about how deep this goes. Like,
I say, I'm really intrigued to see where this is going.
Well, just like I kind of described it as like this season as an onion, where each episode is like a layer gets pulled off.
Yeah.
And it just keeps getting pulled and pulled and pulled.
Or in the Mandalorian's case, a layer gets put on.
Yep. Yeah. That to me was like probably one of the best parts too, because like it just gives you
my favorite part was that entire blacksmith bit. It was fantastic.
Yeah. Like for what little they give you, it was a lot.
Yeah.
It gave you that scene gave you more than like I don't know, like 25 or 30 hours of movies ever did. You know, on that.
I think that's probably why I think it felt like a supercut, because there was everything. There was a lot in every shot at the start.
Yeah.
Like that first half, there was a ton of stuff getting thrown at you. So. And
can we just say thank you, Dave, for giving me the tuning fork shotgun, you know, or whatever that was, man.
The rifle. That's a cool rifle.
That's a callback to the holiday special.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
like give me that tuning fork shotgun or whatever. I'm sure someone has a name for it, but
which is officially canon with the holiday special. So
without that, we wouldn't have and I love the design that they used. It didn't remind me of Boba Fett, but it did. I was
gonna say, like, obviously you can't get away from that. It's kind of Mandalorian armor. Yeah. It's just that. So.
But they give you like just that little scene. You can tell that each character is individual.
Yeah.
By the way they look, they're not all the same. They don't all look like Boba Fett. They all have different, different
helmets. Their own perks and quirks with everything. Yeah. They're individuals.
Yeah, and Boba Fett's been a mystery for so long. The character, the species, like everything, like it. And
well, is Boba Fett actually a Mandalorian, or is it like a Jango Fett situation?
Well, I don't know. It's changed for so long, so many times. But if I recall, he was not a true Mandalorian. He was a person that found the armor.
So that's what I was led to believe.
But I don't know if that's changed or I'm just okay. I don't really want to know about Boba Fett. I just want to know about this character. And you're going to get a lot of the backstory of the character for sure throughout the season. Yeah. So, there's 2 seconds of flashback, but that goes deeper as episode to episode.
But I look forward to hopefully finding some way of watching everything. I'm trying to keep in the conversation because Disney doesn't want me in it apparently.
Can I ask you, if someone from the States gave you access?
If someone from the States gave me their login, I'd be eternally thankful.
Let me see if I can do that. Maybe I can,
because apparently VPNs do work. I know a lot of people doing VPNs.
I don't know how many things you could put them on. How many
I don't think they've said if there's a limit or not, because they have talked about multiple profiles, but I don't think they've said the limit.
All right. I'll look
or how many
I'll
devices, I should say. No.
I'll look into it, and if I can do it, I'll let you borrow one.
Sweet.
And then
That'd
you can
be
we can talk. But just don't buy anything. I'm joking.
Oh no.
I don't think you can. I don't think there's any transactions. I say that to my parents too. I gave them access to my Amazon account. I was like, just don't buy anything like crazy.
Yeah, the only thing you'd notice is like the record might change.
I will dispute the hell out of that in my bank. So I'm joking. No, I'll look into it and see if I can. If there's a limit, if there's not, then I'll definitely. If not,
that's 4 devices.
Oh, 4 devices. Okay. Well, my phone. I don't think I have it. I can take it off.
We'll figure this out. We'll figure this out later. Yeah. So, that's our thoughts on the Mandalorian and Watchmen so far. So, thanks everyone for joining, and we'll catch you all next time. So, bye.
Bye.